going on, Jerome? So initially, this started off as like a shtick of ours. We're very shticky around here, but the Vikings and the Jets, the Vikings and the Jets are so intertwined for two teams that really have no legendary game history or not even in the same conference, but the Vikings and the Jets have the dumbest rivalry in sports history. Of course, the Jets, they had Kevin O'Connell as a backup quarterback, and then Mike Tannenbaum let him loose in the most unprofessional way possible. I was like, don't even sit down. You go. Also, the Vikings and the Jets were the finalists in the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes in 2018. Kirk decided to take his talents to Minnesota, which... All right. The Jets also tried to poach Anthony Barr back in the day, and Barr was this close to signing before changing his mind at the 11th hour. Yeah. Then also Dalvin Cook, and there's like several billion different connections. Well, maybe a couple less than that, but Tyler Gronklin, Pat Elflein, etc. But the Vikings and the Jets are certainly tied together, mainly because the Jets just won't leave the Vikings alone. Also, notably, so earlier this offseason, well, not offseason, but a couple weeks ago, after the Vikings released former first-round pick Lewis Cine, the Jets were reportedly going to pick him up. Because, again, why are you so obsessed with us? But Cine eventually decided to take his talents to Buffalo instead, the only team that's actually in New York State. No problem. But the Jets, they just keep after it. Right, and Kene Nwangwu is now in play as the Jets have now assigned him to the practice squad. And Kene, former second-team All-Pro kick returner for the Vikings, I've always liked Kene Nwangwu. He was a king, man. The pride of Iowa State came in as a fourth-round pick, and I feel like he was underutilized on offense, but of course, I mean, being a running back in the National Football League, it's a lot more than just having burst and be able to bust one. But he was fantastic as a kick returner on the old rules. I think that he'd be great under the new rules as well. But he was in camp primarily working as running back 3, but the Vikings decided to go a different direction, mainly because they were so impressed with Myles Gaskin. Shoot. And then initially, he was claimed by the Saints off of waivers, but then he failed his physical. And now he signs up with the Jets practice squad. And, of course, the ties here, just like what happened to Lewis Cine, the Vikings do play the Jets, Vikings and the Jets over in London. So by the time that the Vikings get to that portion of the schedule, like maybe Kene's worked his way up, maybe he's a practice squad call, maybe he returns a kick against the Vikings, because that would just be poetic justice. And the NFL certainly does love that. Jets running back room, pretty stacked. So you got Breece Hall, who's going to be an absolute monster, and also fitting since Breece Hall and Kene were teammates together back at Iowa State. Both of them had to be pretty hyped about the Cy-Hawk matchup this weekend. At the gun from way downtown. Bang. Braylon Allen, former Stupid Badger, as well as Isaiah Davis, who I liked a lot coming out of South Dakota State, both rookie running backs. Izzy Abaconda, who I think is super underrated, a former Pride of Pitt. He has no business being running back 4, man. As well as Xavier Valade, former Arizona State running back, is on the practice squad now with Kene. And their incumbent kick and punt returner, Xavier Gibson, who was solid last year as a rookie, UDFA out of Stephen F. Austin, I want to say. He housed a punt last year. But could Kene be an upgrade at kick return, especially since teams are using multiple kick returners? It's a possibility, man. But, of course, it just comes back to this as we're going to London. Vikings and the Jets. The goddamn Jets. That's right, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. The New York Jets continue the next chapter of the dumbest rivalry in sports history, signing former Vikings running back / all-pro kick returner Kene Nwangwu to their practice squad. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. You guys are the best to do. Skol. Production value.